We haven't even done the tunnel yet, man.
Well,
You're just kind of in a little pool.
Yeah, it's kind of shallow. We got some work to do.
Hey!
that was awesome. You guys are so great.
All right,
And
let's talk
adorable.
about this. You know,
And
first
clever.
of all,
Now, I don't think it's going to be here forever.
look at that.
I could
That's
be.
a little close.
Guys, this is crazy,
This
right?
is really good. This is really good. Okay.
Let me...
Wait!
I was going to open it.
Well, I want to touch it a little bit more.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
Here's the thing. Yesterday, what was the thing that you said that was supposed to replace That's What She Said?
She says that frequently or something?
She says that frequently.
She keeps saying that to me.
That's what she's been saying.
That's what she keeps saying.
That's what she...
I don't know. We were at lunch and Ed was like, "That's what she keeps saying." I was like, "That's not gonna work."
That's
no
what
one. No one wants to say that's what she said anymore.
No.
But there's no
Good thing to replace it?
Nothing better.
No, there isn't. There's nothing better than That's What She Said yet.
And
Was that a suggestion?
no, the first time
That's what she
the first
said
time
yet.
I heard, I'm gonna plead ignorance here. The first time I heard that was Michael Scott singing it on The Office.
And you
but
thought he made it up?
I thought he made it up. But
Well, he's a genius.
but then I thought
He's a
about it and I
character.
realized
He
that
is.
he's the kind of guy that only does stuff that's already played out, and that's when I realized how out of touch I was.
Yep, and then you're
You know?
Really?
you're the kind of guy who's friends with Michael Scott and is like, you are a genius.
Yeah, right.
Well, and you're saying that actually happened in real life, and that's sad.
While watching it, I was like, he's really into this. That what she said. These writers on The Office are so
They're
smart.
clever. Really clever.
Okay. First of all, congratulations.
Thank
This thing
you.
has already gotten on the charts, like the charts, the New York Times best-selling charts.
It's insane. It's totally wild and insane and unimaginably awesome.
And, you know, I think that there are many YouTubers, including these two guys here, that aspire to write a book.
Yeah.
We seriously talk
But you know
about
what?
it.
You're out in front. I mean, you're one of the first out of the gate.
I know, which is good and bad. Because
But it's working.
it's working. I mean, I'm super happy. I think that, like, with this book, it was so different than YouTube is that it's going to be interesting. Like, I want us all to write books, and then we can all sit around and have a little powwow about
Read them
it.
to each other.
Yeah, because, well,
Bedtime stories.
bedtime stories. Rhett and Link's bedtime stories.
Hey
Bedtime
guys, I brought my
adventures.
book.
Ooh.
I'm gonna read it to you for bedtime.
Please enjoy.
That's like me making my kids watch my YouTube videos.
That's what happens with me and my little sister a lot.
I don't make my kids. They just choose to.
That's what you
You're not
think.
raising them.
That's what you think.
That's what
you think doesn't
what-
work quite as well.
That's what she thought.
That's
That's what she thought. That's what she expected.
Self-deprecating
Yeah, that's
version of it.
Whoopsie-toodly.
I can never meet her expectations. I can. Yeah, that's like the married man's version.
So okay,
Yeah.
you said it was a lot different than YouTube. I imagine
That's what
that
she
one of the
expected.
ways that it's different is the time frame.
Oh,
So
yeah.
from the idea of I'm going to write a book to the I have a book in my hands and it is going on sale. How long is that?
Well, you know, writing a book has always been like a lifelong dream. So I
Can
wouldn't
I look
say.
at it while you're talking?
Of course. It's not really from the idea of writing a book, because I've always wanted to write a book, but it's rather from January 2013 when the book deal with HarperCollins was completed to publishing or like sending in the final manuscript was a full year. But in that year, I also went on tour, shot a movie, and then
Right.
also went to Australia and the blah, blah, blah. Like
So
all-
you kind of worked on it as you could.
Well, yeah, it was crazy.
step away.
I just had this vision in my head that when I was going to write my book, I would like escape to a
Go to a
cabin in the
cabin.
woods.
We talked to John Green about that.
Yep.
And his Ear Biscuits.
There is no cabin.
There
He
is
said
no
it's
cabin.
just a Starbucks.
That you create the cabin in your mind.
That's a Stephen King thing that we all now have a problem because Stephen King's
Goes to a cabin in the woods.
and because of the movie Misery.
which is a Stephen King novel.
Oh, but you mean Stephen King does it personally, or Stephen King wrote a book about the cabin in the
That's
woods?
what I mean, right?
Oh,
That's what she expected
but he also does go to the cabin in the woods.
in his heart.
He does? That's
Maybe.
another movie entirely, by the
So
way.
John also talked about this imaginary cabin that we all
No,
expect.
we assumed.
We forced it on him, and then he backed away as
Yeah.
quickly as possible.
He said it was
from
just a Starbucks.
It's a fantasy to think that like everything stops and only you and your gift of writing happens.
So it was a side project for like 2 years.
It was-
a year and a half.
Sadly, it was my
year.
most important project that had to happen simultaneous to my working
Right.
career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I've this book is like my heart and soul. I love this book. And it's written, can I tell you guys a little bit about it?
Yeah.
So the book comes in 4 parts. Part 1 is called Kitchen Basics, where you kind of talk about the opening, the beginning ingredients of how anybody starts their life. And you'll see that in this blue essay here. So this
With stars.
Yeah, with stars. And every recipe in part 1 has little blue annotation notey things to it, see? So anytime you flip to a recipe and it's blue, you'll know you're in part 1, Kitchen Basics, the foundations of life.
Got it.
And in part 2...
Because there's a describe the parallelism between the food and the life and what the whole point is.
It's kind of like Kitchen Basics explains that everybody's dealt certain ingredients. You know, kind of like the way Voltaire says, like, you have to play the cards you're dealt. It doesn't matter the cards you're dealt, but how you play them.
Yes.
So Kitchen Basics kind of follows along that same idea and instructions as to how you create your life. Which takes us into Adultolescence, part 2.
And what I was saying is the parallel, you're using food to have a discussion about life.
Correct.
And these are the 4 different ways that you're doing that.
100% correct, yeah. Each recipe is actually like a little lesson.
Is it actually, so what parts, what's the breakdown between this is actually a recipe book and this is actually a book for your heart and your soul and yourself?
I think if I had to describe it in one sentence, it would be a self-help parody book via cookbook. You know? So like each recipe, like this, it says tiny sandwiches. It actually talks about appreciating the little things in life. And it's said through this like comedic, oh, I'm making tiny sandwiches recipe, salty nachos. What could that be about? But it's actually about the importance of invention and reinvention.
When you don't have tortilla chips.
You gotta use saltines.
So I could
It's about
actually,
resourcefulness.
the thing that I've felt like as I've read through it is I could read through this on the toilet, which I would never think
It's true. You
from a
can.
cookbook. I mean, who reads a cookbook, a recipe book on the toilet?
You can read.
Besides
Pretty
Rhett.
much my number 1 thing, guys.
Really?
Cookbooks on the toilet.
It should be your
No
number
way.
2 thing.
Oh, that's what she expected. That's what he expected. It's true. You could flip to it because you can read it cover to cover and follow the narrative thread
While crapping.
while crapping, or you can just flip to a random recipe and still get something out of it, or put something out of it.
But
into
the recipes
doo-doo pot.
are. All right, so that's there's 2 more sections you didn't tell us about.
Right. So there's
I don't
part
want to
3.
derail you.
There's part 3, which is about romance, love, sex, and dating, and that talks about, you know, that's me awake at night contemplating my future. And that's my partner sleeping
as a
happily.
banana.
Yeah, being like, I could sleep every night. And there's me being like, what is life? And then part 4 is about family and the holidays. Da da da, dee dee dee. See? And the final part is part 4, which talks about family and the holidays. Just give me another cut.
We don't cut any of this.
Oh, well, good job. Pleased to enjoy. It's actually pretty sexy, too. Or not sexy. Sorry, kids. It's actually pretty... Whoa, look at those fancy Lunchables. There's a recipe for peanut butter jelly and potato chips.
So, did you... now,
The one with the banana,
Yeah.
I'm immediately going to do that with my kids.
Draw bananas on them.
No, the recipe.
Oh, the recipe? Yeah.
I'm going to do the banana recipe
I'm
with
a-
my kids.
I'm actually going to use your book and make some of this
Those
stuff.
are corn cobs.
You
man.
can make everything in the book. You can make every single item.
It is still a recipe book.
It is still a
That's the
recipe
beauty.
book.
How many
It's
of
everything.
these did you have to come up with for the book, or is this just like you just kind of have been doing these recipes?
I am so glad you asked because every recipe is original to the book. Because I've done the recipes before. There's one recipe, Things in a Blanket is an MDK episode from before, but only after the book was published did I do recipes from the book on the show.
Ooh, I like that. As
But you
opposed to just
made
going
up-
back and cataloging all the ones that you've done and putting it in book
Yeah,
form.
that's cool.
Life's still got to be interesting for me.
Yeah, it's all original.
Yeah. All original, never before seen.
But you found all these recipes on Wikipedia.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Wikipedia is my number 1 source for cooking.
I'm just joking. I'm looking for I can't remember what you called it. The banana with the peanut butter and jelly.
Mm-hmm. So that recipe is in the family section of the book. Because I talk about bananas all the time. And there it is. It's called
Yeah. I'm like,
PB&J. So cute, it will make you feel calm.
That's just peanut butter and jelly on a banana.
You slice out the inside of a banana. It's actually really easy to make.
Okay, it's open like it's like a hot dog,
right.
but
there it
it's
is.
a banana with PB&J.
You
and
could
it's
put it
delicious.
in a bun if you wanted to.
You could. Or in a piece of bread, like it's a peanut butter and jelly and banana sandwich.
And here, okay, last question.
But I like how it's
Presented.
what's it called when you don't eat bread?
Gluten-free.
Breadless.
Both of those. It's that.
And every picture and all the food styling and all the photography, the food styling is all done by me, and the photography is all done by my good friend Robin Romer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin
So
shoots.
you did it
Yeah.
honest. I was joking about the Wikipedia.
when you go
This is
on,
great.
when you go on a
Very proud.
typical show, like a TV show, to promote this book, and they want you to do a recipe, do they ask you? Do they look at the book and they're like, "Oh, do the banana one," or do you? You're like, "I know what I'm going to do." And which out of this book, what have you done on TV or whatever to demonstrate?
The only one I've done on TV is pizzadilla, which is it's wanting a pizza, but also being a little bit lazy. So what you do is you take a tortilla, marinara sauce, mozzarella, another tortilla, slam. It's a pizzadilla.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's delicious.
We should have you back on next time we will at taco.
I love tacos.
You don't like our tacos.
We willed at taco
We put baby shampoo in them.
Why?
because it's edible
No.
Yeah.
in small doses.
Oh.
Well, it's safe for babies to put in their eyes,
You know,
which means it's safe for Rhett and Link to put in their throats.
And we have invented some food.
That's what
items.
she expected.
In theory, pennies are edible in small doses.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll get to
You can get
that
about
too.
$1
Trust
now.
me. See, that demonstrates the desperation levels
For making
disparity
videos?
between you and me and him.
Me. We. Us. Usually you say us.
We'll swallow pennies on a taco
Yep.
if we have to.
Makes sense.
You'll actually make a great
Well,
book.
for those views.
Good for you,
For those
Hannah.
YouTube
Thanks, dude.
views. Got to get those YouTube views.
Gotta get that YouTube money.
Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, and congratulations to you guys for being.
I'm out of coffee.
Oh,
What's the website again?
you can get it in stores anywhere or buy it online at hannahhart.com/book.
Book.
/book.